Welcome back. Today I'm going to try to solve some puzzles on chess.com as part of my daily chess development. If you're new to my channel, I'm not a title player or a chess coach or an expert. I'm just a random person trying to get better at chess. I'm starting to come to the conclusion that I won't get better at chess, but I think I have gotten better, but also my opponents have gotten better, so hopefully puzzles will help with that. I am playing with the black pieces. Well, I'll start with checks as I normally do. I think in that case they would just take and then they would be closer to this pawn. So I'm guessing I should advance the pawn. Let's see, if I advance the pawn, they can't come toward it because my rook's cutting off this whole file. So if I advance the pawn, what's my guess? They're going to get behind it? That could be a problem. What about captures? The only captures I have are these two pawns. If I take this pawn, I assume they're going to take mine. That was the reason that they came back here. And then I don't know what I could do but other than check. So what about getting behind my pawn? Think they'll still take it? If I get behind my pawn, then the king can come, but then I can advance. I don't think they can stop the pawn. But let's see. What if I go over here and they push their pawn? And then I push mine, and they push theirs, and then I would promote, but then they would promote. All right, I was just interrupted by a phone call, and I have to go. So I don't want to leave this on the screen. I'm just going to go ahead and play this. That turned out to be right, and this turned out to be right. But now I don't know what to do other than maybe check them or check them here. I have no idea what I should do, but let's try that. Oh, that was it? Okay. After I take care of what I've got to take care of, I might come back to this. I'm glad I solved it, but I didn't have time to fully think it through. Sometimes my instinct is better than my actual thought process. Hopefully I can get back to this in a little bit. If not, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. All right, I'm back. I left this open, and it's still here, so I'm going to click next, and hopefully we can get another puzzle and do just as well on that one. All right, my opponent has just captured something here. Let's look at our checks. First, I have a check here, which is protected by the knight. So the knight is guarding that square, and the rook would be hitting all of those squares. So the king would only have two options at that point. If it went back to f8, then I could check again on d8, but then the king could just come back. And if it went down to e8, then I couldn't check again. Wait. What if I checked here and it went to e8? No, if it went to f8, then I could check again. And if it came back, I could check again with the knight, which would also protect the rook, and that would be mate. But if it went back to e8, then what would I play? I could pick up a pawn, preparing this check, but they would have a move in the meantime before I was able to go down and check over there. So after I picked up the pawn, I don't know what the king would do. It might come toward me, but if it did, I could check again here, or pick up the other pawn. But right now, they're a full piece ahead, and I could just take the piece. Captures are the next thing I look at after checks. What do they play if I take the bishop? Take this pawn, and then they would be a pawn ahead. Oh, I didn't look at all the checks. I have a check over here. Wait, I bet that's it. Okay, I should have looked at all the checks because my rook's already cutting off this file. And the knight over there would protect the d8 square, so after the king got out of check, I would come down, and I think that would be mate. So it's probably the knight to c6. Oh, and it stopped, because I guess it doesn't matter which square they go to. It says theme is mate in 2, so I assume I would have mate down here either way, but let's just look, because I know the themes on this site are often very messed up. Okay, so after that, yeah, it's mate in 2 it says, so I go here. Doesn't matter which one they go to, I have rook, mate down here, but why didn't the puzzle continue? Oh, because I have a mate in 2 or a mate in 1. Rook to d4. I could go here, and then it doesn't matter what they do, I still have them. What? Okay, well, I wouldn't play that. Is it going to be the same if they had gone here? No. Okay, then why didn't it go there? The puzzle should have continued. Yeah, it should have gone there and let the puzzle continue. Okay, well, I was just curious, but it was a mate in 2, or would have been had they played. Next. Again, that starts with them capturing something. Again, we will look at checks. I have 4 checks in this position, but I don't... Wait. No, because they can take with the king. For a second, I thought I had one of those smothered mates where I can take here, and then when they capture with the rook, then the knight here to f7 would be checkmate. But they don't have to take with the rook. They could take with the king, and then I don't have a follow-up check. So let's look at the 2 knight checks first. Okay, this is mate in 1. Okay, I should have looked at the knight checks first because this pawn is pinned by my rook and the king can't move over, so they can't capture that knight. I think that's just checkmate because my queen is defending g8. Mate in 1, pin. Okay, good. I like that. And I'm making pretty good time for puzzles rated this high. That one only has a 55% pass rate. I'm curious as to what the other people who get a puzzle this high rated, what they play there. Maybe they're going more quickly than I do. Next. Again, let's look at checks. I think I only have one check here. That looks pretty bad. They would take it. Now, of course, then I could pin the rook, but they could protect it with the pawn. So that's probably not great. But that's my only check, is it not? What about captures? I have this capture. I have this capture. We already discussed that capture. And there's a free pawn here. No, that's not free. That pawn is defended. I have here and here. I don't think taking the pawn does any good. They could take back 3 different ways. They took back with the queen, then the rook would be free. But what if I took with the rook first? Can we assume they'll take back? I don't know. They might. And then they're a threatening mate. No, they're not, because I can defend with the bishop and block that. Okay. Take the rook first. Let's say they take back. And then, yeah, it would be nice to have this bishop here pointed at that square. But the bishop wouldn't be defended. I feel like if I was playing this position in an actual game, my opponent would win mostly due to these passed pawns. They would probably be happy to do this rook trade. Then when I threatened them, they would check me or something. I would block with my bishop, and then they would start marching these pawns down. Well, I spent a lot of time looking at it, so I am glad that I paused the video. I can't think of anything better than taking here, but I'm not sure what to do after that. I just know that if I don't do that, I mean, they're going to take mine, probably. We're going to have a rook trade anyway, but it's going to be on their terms instead of mine. So it makes sense for me to take that first. It doesn't make sense to, move the rook over. So here. What else is there besides bringing the rook down to d4? What is my bishop doing? Can I put the bishop on d3, which I'd mentioned earlier that I wanted to guard that pawn? Here it would be protected by my rook, pointed at the queen. They wouldn't take it, but they might check. No, they wouldn't check because the knight's still there. They might check over there. So if I take the rook, they take here. I threaten. Oh, they can't go there because the bishop's there. Okay, that's it then. Oh, wow. I'm glad I kept looking at that, and I'm glad I tried to explain my position because I came up with this. The rook's defending the bishop, so they can't check me because the bishop's in the way of b1 and the knight's guarding e1, so they would have to run away someplace, and then I have this, which I think is mate. Oh, I hope that's right. The rook's defending that, the knight's defending e1, the bishop's preventing the queen from seeing b1, and then my bishop is where I wanted it pointed over at h7. Oh, I hope that's right. Oh, they just took it. Well, I'm going to take their queen. Oh, and I got 6 points. That one only has a 43% pass rate, so I feel pretty good about it. I'm still not sure. Like, I've had opponents that know how to work these pawns really well, but with 2 pieces, I ought to be able to stop them. Like, what are they going to play? They're not going to play the b pawn now because I would just take it. What if they play the h pawn? Then if I go up to attack both of them, they push one forward, and when I take the other one, they push it again, and I guess I could still get behind it. Wow. I don't know, they might play this one first, and then I'd have to go up there, and then they push that, and then I take this one, they push that, and then I get behind it so that they couldn't push the other one or this one. Okay, so I think I could stop the pawns either way. I was about to click next because I have some time left, and I saw the score. I'm only 12 points away from 2,400. That's pretty exciting. Already at my highest ever puzzle rating. I think I have enough time to do it, but that requires me getting the next 2 puzzles correct or 3 at this rate, because I'm getting 5 points for most of these, so I'll need to get 3 puzzles. All right, next. Oh goodness, they just got out of check. I can check. Oh, wait, should I take their queen? Why didn't they take my queen? I'm playing with the white pieces, right? Oh my goodness, they should have taken my queen. Should I take their queen? Or is there a checkmate here? Can check again, but they could just move back up. Oh, no. Wait, I have a rook. I'm trying to figure out what I can do with this rook besides taking their queen. But the only way to get my queen out of the way to use my rook is to take their queen. I don't know what they'll play then. They surely won't move over here because I have a bishop guarding that square. After I take their queen, I don't know what they'll do. But it's got to be taking the queen, right? Oh my goodness. I don't think I have a mate because even though I have a bishop and a rook guarding that square, they'll take, and then I'll take, and they'll take, and I'll take, and they'll still have a queen left to my bishop, not to mention an outside passed pawn. So I think I have to take their queen. Well, I've looked all over. I feel like it's a trap and that there's something better, but I can't figure out if I go here, they just come back. I'm going to take their queen. Hopefully that's right. Oh my goodness, I should have done it when I first saw it. I just felt like it's a 2300 rated puzzle. That seems like that should be a 400 rated puzzle, but it only has a 52% pass rate. What? Out of nearly 10,000 attempts. So what are the other people doing? I'm curious. After the king moves there, yeah, because they should have taken my queen, right? Yep, they should have taken my queen. They would have been ahead, but because they didn't, I have a mating sequence, mate in 21 according to this level of Stockfish. But what are the other people playing? Are they checking again? That's not even the second best move. The second best move is B7. I don't know why, because that's defended. Oh my goodness. How bad is this? It's drawn because they come up and then I come back and it's a draw. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't know what the other people are playing. Is that what they're doing? Just checking again? I mean, if I had eventually decided not to take that, I have no idea what I would have played. Next puzzle. Okay, I have a rook and a bishop for their queen, which doesn't seem great, but I have one more pawn than they do. Not sure what they should have done, but they moved their king forward. Oh my. Well, I can check them because I have to look at checks first. That's not my only check. I can check with the rook also, but their queen is defending that square. So I can check with the bishop on f6, protected by my rook. I don't know where they'd go. I don't think they would move back to the 6th rank because then I move my bishop anywhere I want and it's check again. I don't know where I would move it, but I would move it somewhere, maybe all the way back here. So I don't think they would move up. So if I check here, they have, no, they can't go there. They only have one choice. They would only have one choice besides moving back because my pawns guard all of these squares. So if they didn't go back to the 6th rank, they would have to move to f5. I'm trying to figure out a way to take their queen, but I can't. What if I go there with the rook first, just to take the pawn? They're not going to take, right? Because if I take and they take, then I have an extra pawn. And I assume I would start bringing my king at that point, but I don't know. That's probably not it. The check is probably it. What else is there? Is there a way to... No, I can check here. I didn't look at all my checks. I have 2 checks with the bishop. This one's protected. It cuts off this diagonal. The pawns are cutting off these, so it would give them 2 choices. But then my bishop's not guarding f5 anymore. Sorry, f6. So which one would they go to? I can also check with the pawn right now. Should I do that first? No, because then they could come forward. And they can't come forward right now. I don't think I should check with the pawn first. They could come forward or over or back. Although if they went back to the 6th rank, I would have the rook check here that also threatens the queen. So they would probably move forward. Then I could take this pawn threatening their queen. I don't know where they would go, but I would be aiming for some sort of checkmate here. Which one is best? Checking with the pawn, checking with the bishop, or threatening the queen now? So I have no idea. I'm kind of back to this, but no, I think we already said at that point, all that does is threaten the queen where they will check me and win the bishop. So, okay, so that's not good. Okay, so back to the pawn. Play the pawn and they check, and then I don't know what to do after that. Oh, I said I would do this, but that's not a check. Again, they would check and win my bishop. I don't know. Well, I'm going to use up all the time remaining in my video. I'm going to play pawn to h4 just because it seems like a good idea. This pawn's not defended right now. They can push theirs, but they can't if I push mine. Then all these things will be defended. They'll have to go one of 4 different places after that. I mean, I hope they go to h6, which I can take this pawn, which threatens their queen and their king's not defending the pawn. I don't know. Let's do it. And they went back. Well, now I can't check them with the bishop. I can do this. Wait, maybe that was the answer. Because now if I trade these off, because now it's a check. It wouldn't have been a check earlier, but now it's going to be a check. I don't know why they didn't go forward or what would have happened at that point. But now if I take this pawn, it's a check. And if they trade off, which I think they would have to because I'm also threatening their queen, they're going to end up here and that pawn can't move. And all I have to do is stop their b pawn, which I would have to bring my king to do. I think it's taking on f6, but I'm not sure. I think they have to take. And will I be able to stop that pawn? Because this pawn will be gone and that pawn can't move. They're going to have to trade off the queen for it. Hopefully that's right. Oh, okay. Well, now nothing else makes sense since I've given away the rook. Okay. Oh, and it just stops. Am I going to be able to stop that pawn? That one only has a 35% pass rate. I can see why. You saw I had no idea. The only reason that I chose the pawn move, well, for one, I was running out of time. I had to pick one of my candidate moves, but I think it was the only thing I couldn't find anything wrong with. I still don't know what would have happened if they had moved forward, though. I'm kind of curious about that. Let's go to the analysis board. We were about even until they played that. h4 is the only move. Bishop capturing on f6 was my second best move, but that would have taken us back to even. And it says they would have gone back because, as we discussed, I'm going to move, the bishop. They'll be in check. They'll just get out of check, and then that whole attack is over. But this one, why didn't they come forward? That's their second best move. The best move is to go to g6. The second best is to go to g4. What would I have done if they had gone here? Would I have taken this? It says yes, but then wouldn't they have checked me and won my bishop? It says no. But why not? Why wouldn't they have checked me and won my bishop? Because I would have come up. They would have not won my bishop because this isn't mate because of their queen being there. Why wouldn't they take my bishop? Oh, this would be mate. Wow. So they wouldn't have won my bishop here. They would have checked me on h1. I would have taken, or f1. And I would have taken there too, because I wouldn't have moved over. That would have been weird. And if they checked on h1, I couldn't move over. I would have to take it. Wow. So they wouldn't have gone down there. It says they would have gone to d5. And then if I checked on f4, which is what I would have considered, we would be drawn because they would come in here and I can't get to them. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm glad the puzzle stopped when it did. I feel like I got lucky on that one. And I'm glad they didn't come forward because I would have messed that up. I'm actually past my time now, but I'm so close to 2400. I'm going to try one more. Let's see. I am down on material. They have a whole extra rook and an extra minor piece because I only have one rook, one queen, and a bishop. They have two rooks, two minor pieces. So it's not a good idea to take the queen. That's what I'm taking from this. It's also not a good idea to check here because they would take it, I think. Oh, wait. I'm one square from promoting. Should I promote? No, because then they would take my queen because they would be in check. They would take my queen, and then if I took their rook, then they would take my thing, and then they would still be ahead. They would still have a rook and a bishop and a knight. I just realized I have that pawn there. Okay. Do I have any checks? Besides this one, that's a bad check, and I already said why that's a bad check, at least I'm pretty sure. Are those my only two checks? Oh, their bishop's free. I can take the bishop. Sorry, back to checks. Are there any other checks? That's not a check, but it does hang my bishop, and I could take their knight, and then they would probably check me. I don't know. But no other checks besides those two. Well, that one's bad. I'm positive that one's bad. Oh, goodness. My light squared bishop can't possibly check them. Okay, so captures. Oh, also my rook is in danger, and my queen's in danger. But again, their knight's hanging and their bishop's hanging. Hold on, if I take their queen, let's say they take here, because then they would still be threatening my bishop. So they're up a rook and a minor piece. And then I would take their bishop, so they would be up a rook. I don't know if I would take their bishop or not. Ow. Okay, this one's hard. I shouldn't have gone on. I'm probably going to miss this one. Well, I'm pretty sure it's not taking the knight or the bishop now because then they get my queen for free. For free. In exchange for one of these pieces, but both of those pieces are just hanging. So I'm pretty sure it's not one of those two captures because of this. So, and again, if I promote, what if I promote to a knight? Wait, what if I promote to a knight? That's double check. Then they can't take my queen because the knight is also checking them. Oh my, promote to a knight. So my queen cuts off all of this and my knight hits these two squares. They would have 1, 2, 3, 4 choices. Oh, no, my bishop cuts that. So they would have 3 choices. Oh my. And then my knight would be covering this square where I could go with my queen and save it. Is that it? Oh my goodness, because that's the only way I could think of to get out of this. I kept coming back to the fact that I have multiple pieces hanging and I'm down on material. But this gives me extra material, temporarily prevents them from capturing anything because it's a double check, and in a double check, the only thing you can do is move, I think. What if they moved right next to it? Oh, that would be mate because my bishop's covering that square. Okay, promote to a knight. What if they move there? The knight is covering this square, so that would be mate. Promote to a knight. What if they move here? Knight's guarding this square, and that would be mate because of where my pawn is. Oh, I bet that's it. I got the 2400 puzzles award. Oh my goodness, I was about to give up on this one and just take their queen or something. Thank you for spending your time here. I'm out of time. I gotta go. I'll see you next time.